Morning, everyone. I think before we started, back to chapter 11, the control, how to control everything, do some quick review about the new paper, okay? And I told you folks, I really don't want to give you additional assignments to do, but College of Business and also the UCA Assessment Office want you folks to do ethical assessment paper. They want to know how good you learn the different ethical issue. Okay, so I post this one into the assignment. Okay, and it's a 40 points project. Okay, it's individual project. I have the guidelines and everything here, and the grading. Okay, the different grading rubric. These are the UCA. Okay, rubric, and these are my rubric. So 4 different rubrics. Okay, and please take a look. I think I just find out a typo here. Should healthcare be a public or a privilege? Okay, and we'll just modify a little bit, but very simple. And the deadline. Okay, I told you folks in the beginning. This week and next week, we're gonna read all those chapters. Friday, I'm going to start discuss with you the leadership chapter. I think that's important. Next Monday, leadership. Next Wednesday and next Friday, we'll be talking about negotiation, how to negotiate, how to resolve the corporate conflict. Then, the exam will be the following Monday. The paper will be due following Wednesday. I give you so much time, okay? But I really want to try to do it this week or next week, because I know the last couple of weeks, last 3 or 4 weeks, so many professors give you exams. So please do not wait until the due date. Okay? And I told you, I don't like it, I don't want it. Okay? But you do one paper, I grade 110 papers. So everyone get extra work. Okay. However, I think just for giving you this, I read 4 or 5 books. Try to find the good stuff for you to do. I was thinking about social media. Can Facebook stop your right for publishing for a month? Okay, is that a censorship? So I've been thinking about a lot of different paper and different things. So finally, I decided I think this is a good exercise. Okay, and if you read the instruction, you find out. Okay, I really give you some opportunity to assessing or reevaluate the ethics. The whole exercise should be fun and interesting. I spent a lot of time to design this stuff for you. Okay, and we don't do assessment every few years. We have to do the assessment. Okay, this is another document. Okay, I posted. Okay, called presentation schedule. I do it on the announcement. Okay, so you can see April 14, April 16 each day. Okay, and which group is presenting it. Please be careful. Every single day, I have 2 groups to present. So you can see group 1, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, okay, presents the Sodexo. And because we have 2 groups, each section have 50 minutes, okay? So the first group has what? 25 minutes. Second group have what? 25 minutes, okay? Then vice versa, everything is the same thing. And of course, the last group, okay, I also give you 25 minutes, but I don't have group 10. Okay, so 9 groups, and so the last day, April 23rd, okay, only 3 groups instead of 6 groups, okay, will be presenting. Okay, so please take a look, okay, especially for those of you play golf or football or soccer for the university or whatever, okay. If you have some conflict, pre-arrange with your group member in the presentation process. Maybe, okay, you can do more other things, and if you have some official duty of something, then that's fine. Okay, you don't have to present that. Okay, the other documents I want to share with you is this one. Okay, group presentation guidelines. I just posted, but I find out I have to change it a little bit. Where did I post it? Under the group icon. You do online class material, you click group, okay? And I give you the list of questions and all kind of stuff. This is called group presentation guideline, okay? I have 4 rubrics. Quality of PPT, presentation, comprehensiveness, this is a new one this semester, and the group effort. These 1, 2, 3, 4 require 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Do you see 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, so the first one is talking about quality of PPT. Okay, you should have 15 slides because remember I mentioned about 15, less than 20 minutes presentation. Typically, for a 15 minutes presentation, typically 15 to 20 slides, sometimes 23, 24, because if you get nervous, you talk too fast, you may not have enough slides. So try to get at least 15 slides for a 15 minutes, okay, presentation. And for the PPT, you are giving a big board to present. If you have a lot of tiny words, you waste your space. If you have a couple things, but so many empty space, that's not good. Make your font to be bigger. Arrange every single slide to be a nice bare board. Okay, so the formatting is important. The font size is important. The color is important. Okay, no typos. Proper font size is important. Okay, no typos. Formatting is important. Also, recommend you. Okay, some people like it. Use the dark or black background with the white words. What's the problem with that? Sometimes if people want to print your slide, you use the color white to be the word. Guess what? People cannot read it. Okay, so a good recommendation is what? Light background with what? Black or dark blue words, easy to print. Okay, so the PowerPoint quality, okay, etc., will be 10 points. Also, it's a deadline. All the PPT should be submitted to the faculty before 5 a.m. of the presentation day. Okay, and you don't just go and present. You have to submit it to me eventually. So I give you the deadline, not the day before, but I let you use it every single day. I get up 6 o'clock. I will try to read your PPT and get some comments. So if you submit it to me, you present April 14th. If you give me 5 o'clock, you're fine. Okay? The day before, great. I have extra days to read it. So that's the first thing about what? About the PPT. Okay? And the second thing about the PPT is talking about the presentation. Yes, P2, presentation. You have to introduce each other, and I don't want you to read the PPT. You should talk to people, okay? And you are not allowed to read, okay? You are not allowed to read the document or PPT. You have to talk to people, and you have to talk loud and clear, okay? And the people should learn something from you. What's your information? And what do you try to convince people? Okay? And I really want you to have what? To have these kind of nice talking. Okay? And the presentation. Okay? And the third one, comprehensiveness. I never had that before. But I find out more and more group project. A lot of sections are great, but there are sections, okay? I give you 3 sub-questions, you only do 1, because that person couldn't find the answer or couldn't find the material. So I ignored you, professor. In the past, you know, at least you answered the 1 part, I let you go. But now I think since it's a group project, will be an excellent opportunity for you folks to cover each other, to learn what is group project. So if I give you 1A, 1B, 1C, under the question 1, you answer only 1A, 1B, 1C. You try to ignore me. Guess what? You lose 2 points for each section you missed. Okay? So I think that's something new. Okay, but I purposely, okay, get 15 points there. So you see 15 points there. Overall, it's 40 points, 15 points. So if you lose so many sections, try to totally ignore and nobody in the group pick it up or working or helping this person, then the entire group get punishment because you didn't do a good job. The last one, 5 points, I want you to have 1 or 2 slides. Talk about group activity, okay? I want to have at least 1 table talking about who is doing what. Then also another bullet or something to tell me, okay, the major task or presentation stuff, okay? So that's sort of the presentation guideline, okay? And I just mentioned it. I'm going to go back and add 1 more things. Okay, so this will be revised later today. What do I want to add? Each group, after your presentation, okay, you have to give 3 questions to me. I'm going to create a polls, okay? Have students to answer your 3 questions. If you have a great presentation, people understand what you're talking about. Okay? And another important one, not just testing the presenters. Also, I want to track the participants. Are you paying attention to these guys? Or are you coming at all? A typical situation, the last 5 presentation lecture sections, 5 students showed up, 10 students showed up. For those non-presenters, you don't care about showing up. But I make this presentation cases. Each case has a very unique, okay, applications to your business, to your future. I want you to listen. Why? Okay, so Sodexo is so good in diversity. Okay, and the SWOT analysis, the most successful case everyone's talking about is Campbell Soup. So I want you to learn a little bit more about everything. Diversity, corporate structure, corporate culture, planning and the SWOT analysis, okay? Corporate responsibility, Apple and the Foxconn's case. So I want you to come. So if you do not come, you miss those questions and the quizzes, I track them. Okay? So I want you to know we will encourage you to come to the class until what? The last day of the presentation. After that, I give you 1 or 2 lecture time off, okay? That's fine. But before we finish, okay, I want you to continuously to come to class. And I told you all these lectures every day. After the class is over, Zoom, send me a file. I can track, okay, how many classes you miss. And you pay the tuition, okay, you are entitled to the class and you want to learn a lot. And I hope you can learn a lot from me, okay? Any question so far? So I'll talk about 2 things. Number 1 extra hurdle, assignment, ethical decision-making assignment you have to do. Number 2, okay, group project. This week and next week, only 2 weeks for you folks to prepare your stuff. So groups, please meet. Please help each other. Please do all those group works. Okay, today's Wednesday. Okay, so you only have almost what? 2 weeks. Half week this week, whole week next week, then the other 2 or 3 days, then presentation going to be started. I will also post the guideline, probably today or tomorrow, about the written report. What's the rubric? Okay, how do I want you to do the written report? Okay, so any questions so far? No? Okay, so please take a look. And let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, this is the chapter. We talk about control. So 3 major types of control. One is output control. One is behavioral control. The other one called plan control. So last time we talked about output control. Financial measures, I told you, a lot of measurements we create. Profitability, okay, and different ratios. You learned it from the managerial accounting class, accounting 2 of your curriculum. And you also learned it in what? Basic finance class. Okay, now we in management course also remind you those ratios are very important for you to learn as a good manager, regardless of your major. Okay. Second thing is organizational goal. Okay, and according to the level of the organization, corporate level, unit or business unit or division level, or the last one is what? Department level, quality control, okay, efficiency, etc., etc. Then we set up the goal. Okay, then what? Then we use a third way is operation budget. How do we use the budgeting system to control the resources? You are not allowed to use unlimited resources. We have to use a budget to control everything. Okay, so first one, okay, I told you, page 318, table 11.1. Please review those stuff you have learned from the second accounting and the finance whole course. Okay, and they probably have a better explanation depend upon which textbook, who is your professor in accounting and the finance. Okay, and I'm not the best one to teach that. And in addition to the definition, you'll be asked in the exam and the Blackboard quizzes. Also what? Also the formula. Each one has different formula. Okay, I encourage you to organize it, make a note. Okay, And so you can do that. Next one, talk about what? The goal. I told you we can set up the goal. Okay, so the corporate goal setting in the planning chapter, we talk about 3 levels. Corporate level, okay, they give you certain goal or strategy. For the corporate level, we are focusing on diversify or what? Or focused. Remember Kodak and Fujifilms. Remember GE want to be more diversified under Jack Welch, more centralized, more get rid, sell all those different divisions. Okay, later on, we talk about P&G, corporate structure. Remember we talked about it last time? P&G is a very interesting company, right? 194 years history, still making by selling soaps to begin with, making $80 billion. 2014, they dropped to what? 60s. So how do they fix it? Remember we discussed it last time? Okay, now what do they try to do? They find out they are the best of the best in selling, in innovation. How come they still lose money? So they find out, okay, from the corporate level, more focus is important. So they what? They get rid of, they sell a lot of those good stuff. If that product or product line profit level is low, they get rid of it. So the corporate try to be what? More focused. Focus on what? High profit margin product. Remember last time I talked, they started with what? 13 to 16 divisions, okay, to 10 divisions. Then further restructuring is what? 6 divisions, okay? So they try to be what? To be more focused, okay? And they think that will help, okay? Then if we take a look, so let's take a look. So we can see, okay, the organization goal is important. At the corporate level, we focus on direction. Should be more focused, should be more diversified. At the business level, okay, and we are focusing on competition. Do we want to what? Be more cost cutting, or we should increase what? Values, innovations. Then we talk about what? The functional level. The functional level, normally we talk about 4 different things: efficiency, quality, response to customers, and the innovation. Okay, so you can see at the different level, we have different goals. Okay, and we set up the goal. Okay, that's a control. Okay, then the budget. Okay, the budget is the blueprint that the government, okay, use, or the company use to manage their resources. We normally try to minimize the cost, okay? So I stopped here last time. Zero-based budget, okay? This is a company, we also discussed this case, Accenture, okay, talking about consulting firm based upon, okay, in Great Britain, okay, and according to them, 57% of the company try to use what? ZBB. And any company use the ZBB, they have a tendency to what? Reduce 15% or more in their cost. Okay, so it's getting popular. ZBB, no budget, zero-based budget. Okay, typically, how do we do the budget? We use the last year's budget. We evaluate it. Then we see these items, these items, these items should be increased or decreased. Correct? So that's how we do the budget. Okay, and what's the disadvantage of budget? In the beginning, all the managers try to be very frugal, very careful about using their money. Because if I spend too much in the first 6 months, then what? Rest of the year, I may not have any money. So what? You want to do this? No. You want to do that? No. They want to what? Conserve their resources for emergency. Last 3 months before the end of fiscal year, oh, we better spend the money. We better burn the money. Otherwise, we lose the money. Otherwise, they won't give us the money next year. So, a budget system, okay, it's good. Give you a guideline. Last year, how do we use our resources? We adjust it, then we implement that using this as a guideline. But flexibility and a couple other side effects. Okay, like I just mentioned, you can see the trend. Most of people spend their budget in what? The second half of the year or the last 3 months, last quarter. And there's a great tendency, oh, we couldn't get the money, so guess what? Everyone get a new monitor. Okay, so my department head give me a new monitor. Everyone get a new monitor. I said, wow, that's cool. Why? Oh, because we have so much money left, we cannot get back to state government, so we have to burn it. So he make the decision. Does everyone need a new monitor in the office, marketing and the management department? No, we don't. We can use it for more useful stuff, but we have a budget system. Okay, we try to do that, and last 3 months we have to burn the money. Okay, and so that's the problem. How about zero-based budget? That sounds cool. You want the money, you justify. In the beginning, in the end, doesn't matter. Sounds pretty good. What's the disadvantage? Anyone? In the chat room, you can type something. Zero-based. It's more flexible. What's the problem? Every time you use money, you have to justify. That's created a problem. Politicking. Okay? And the hassle. So, actually, U.S. government, you folks heard about a president, right? Jimmy Carter. Okay? One of the oldest alive president of the United States. He's the late 90s. I think he's going to pass 100 years old and still be alive, okay, pretty soon. During his administration, he came from Atlanta, Georgia, okay. During his administration, he was the governor of Georgia. Then he became the president of the United States. He used zero-based budget. Do we use it now? Federal government, state government, do we use zero-based budget? No. We just use what? Go back to traditional one. So apparently, Jimmy Carter has some good intention, but ZBB is not good for public sector because you don't have a set budget. You go through the process, justify. So many congressmen, so many what? Politicians, so many lobbyist groups want to what? Teach you or manipulate how you use your money. Okay? So, in other words, we lose the focus. We lose what? The priority. We lose the goal. And politicking plays a more important goal. So I want you to know for the ZBB, private company, yes, if you use it right, it can be good because it's flexible, okay, and you can avoid some problems, the current existing typical budgeting system. But for public, okay, city government, if you are city mayor, you try to use 0BB, okay, every day you have to handle what? City councilman, okay, it's too much hassle, okay, so I want you to know it's a good concept. And so what would be a good decision? Maybe, okay, you can allocate certain things on what? ZBB, certain things are according to the budget, okay? So that's the budgeting, okay? So output control. We are talking about financial measures, objective. We are talking about very challenging goals and the performance standards. We are talking about what? Operating budget. Okay, so we can use the financial measure, we can set up the goals, we can do what? We can use the budget to control. Okay, and there are some problems, but outcome or output control is still the essential part of the management. Okay, it's more objective. Okay, company should, okay, have a goal and a standard and try to reach it. Okay, setting up a goal and the ratios and try to do it. That's very, very important. Okay, and next one we'll be talking about behavior control. Okay, and let's take a look of the behavior control. Okay, behavior control basically talking about what? The manager's job, supervising. Okay, you as a supervisor, you supervise people. Okay, so you're monitoring, you're observing the behavior about your staff, you teach them, you correct them, you motivate them, okay? That's called direct supervision, okay? And the problem with that is what? Two things. Number one, a lot of cost because you have to hire these managers to supervise, okay, in the middle. Too many middlemen cost you a lot of money. Second thing is what? A close supervise would demotivate your staff. Okay, micromanagement. Okay, someone behind you keep on telling you this is right, this is wrong. Nobody likes it. Okay, so and now we talk about the flat company or the tall company. Okay, are we moving to the flat or moving to very tall? Anyone? And you, Ms. Russell, do you think we are moving towards a taller organization or flatter organization structure?
Okay. Can you explain it one more time?
Sure. I mean, in the corporate structure section, we talk about layers of control, okay? And we want to minimize it. We want to make what? Too many layers, which is very tall. Or we get rid of a lot of layers, make it very flat. What's the trend? More flat or more tall organization structure?
More taller?
T-A-L-L.
Yeah, I was saying, is it more taller? I was just answering the question.
All right. Joe Howie. Joe, what do you think? The corporate structure moving to be flatter or taller?
I would assume flat because they want lower costs and more efficiency among workers.
So, unfortunately, blackboard, I don't have a blackboard to write. So if it's too tall, too many middle guys waste a lot of money. So a lot of company try to what? Get rid of the middle part. So the company is what? Flatter. Fat and the flat. So that's the situation, okay? And so that's the trend. We try to use IT. We try to use more accountable mechanism, and we try to get rid of what? Middle manager. So the behavior part, if you are overly emphasizing the behavior part, that's going to be a lot of money, right? You have to hire a lot of people to supervise people. And the more business now are high-tech, encourage the innovation. You have all these stupid supervisors there, demotivate the innovation, okay? So the behavior approach by using supervisor, it is important, but what? People are gradually moving away from them, okay? People like to see their organization structure to be flatter, means what? Get rid of some of the middle guys, okay? But don't get it wrong, still important, okay? You have to have someone in the middle to set the goal for each individual person and the monitoring, etc., etc., etc. However, I also mentioned IT can do some of this stuff, okay? Then so the first one is what? The direct supervision, okay? And next one is what? Managed by objective or managed by goal, okay? And so we will help the staff set up the goal and the objectives, then define, okay, the goal for your staff in the review. So for manager, first of all, you watch people, you observe people, you help people. Second thing, you set up a goal with everyone. You help them to see whether they can achieve it. Do they need more resources? Okay, and do they need help to achieve the goal? Okay, that's the second thing they think the behavior one can do. And the last one is also behavior, but it's not directly related to the supervisor. It's called standard operation procedures, bureaucratic control or standard operation procedures. So we set up a lot of procedures to control people's behavior, okay? And of course, if it's overly structured, then will be less flexible, thus discourage the innovation, okay? If a firm, okay, use centralized control, then SOP is good. If a firm is focused on decentralized system or an organic structure, new ideas are more important, then they don't want to overdo what? SOP. Okay. So this is the second part. Okay. We talk about behavior approach. So we talk about, we use the system, we use the number, we use the goal setting, we use, okay, the outcome to do the control. Second thing, we use supervisor or standard operation. We change and regulating people's behavior, activities, and the performance, okay? The third one is called clan control, C-L-A-N. What is clan control? We are talking about more what? Culture and subculture. Okay, values, norms, corporate culture can affect a lot of control. Okay, what is norm? Can someone type it under the chat section? What is norm? Anyone? What is norm? Jordan Pierce, remember what is norm?
I am not certain.
Emma, remember?
I said something that is usual or typical. That's what I think whenever I hear norm, like something that's it's just normal in society.
Okay, I got 3 answers. Okay, someone that use typical, standard that every day live by, and a pattern. Yes. Something, unwritten rules. Okay, that's the definition. Unwritten rules. Everyone think, nobody says that, but everyone dress casual in this organization because that's the norm. Everyone dress in the back, formal, because that's unwritten rule. Okay, they may or may not have something on the different things, but people just follow that. Okay, give you another example. Eli Lilly. This is pharmaceutical company. Anyone heard about it? They are doing some diabetic medicine. They are doing some animal growth hormone. They are doing some pesticide for the rice. Okay, it's a big pharmaceutical company. Their founder like to go to work at 5 o'clock. So the president, senior vice president, all these guys, they want to talk to the founder. So they're always coming in at 6 o'clock. Founder getting 5. So the senior managers, executive vice president getting at 6. And those managers want to talk to their senior vice president. They come in 7. So they have some time to talk to what? The senior vice president. So that company have a very unique value and the norm, which is what? Early birds get food to eat. 7 o'clock, you go to the parking lot. Half of the car fill the parking lot. You know, parking lot was half filled. Because what? It's a subculture. People really think, okay? And that's a cool thing to do. So sometimes the corporate culture affecting a lot of control and regulating people's behavior. Nobody says you have to be there at 6. Okay, supposed to be 8 to 5. Okay, my daughter worked at the Amazon acquisition department. Okay, everyone is loaded because she can do 1 or 2 cases. Billions of dollars. They bought a company, they sold the company, they bought a company, then they what? Decompose it and sell by piece. Amazon make billions of dollars. So these guys, my daughter and her colleagues, everyone's super rich. Okay, my daughter has a house in Seattle. How much? $1.6 million. Okay, mine not even 400, and she got 1.6, 4 times more. What kind of car she use? Toyota minivan. I said, honey, what did you get the Mercedes or BMW? She said, my boss has a what? Odyssey, Honda. Okay, and my co-worker, okay, more than half of them drive what? Honda or Toyota Camry to work. Everyone does that. It's what? It's kind of a norm. Everyone, nobody says. I mean, you got your money, you can do a lot of things, but everyone affecting each other, corporate culture. Okay? If Jeff Bezos, the richest guy on earth, okay, didn't do all those fancy stuff, then everyone affected by that. Okay? So let's conclude this chapter. Okay. So 3 different things. Okay, output control, then that, and I think, all right. I just want to mention very briefly, I forgot, I have one more section, talking about organization change. Organization change, they are always have 2 different forces. One is resist, the other is change. Okay, corporate structure, corporate culture always try to resist the company to change. But, okay, task structure change, technology, and the external competition always what? Push the company to change. So these 2 forces, change, not to change, always what? Try to get a balance. Okay, and also the last one I want to mention is here. How to manage a change. First of all, we assess whether the change is needed. Find out the issues, do we need to change? Then what, if we want to change, okay, then what's the alternatives, trade-offs? Then we implement the change. In the implementation process, okay, we have top-down change, what, bottom-up change, okay? If it's a revolutionized, dramatic change, better from the top down. If something we can do it gradually, then what? That's the bottom-up approach. Okay. And what is benchmarking? What is benchmark? You have some guideline to compare. Okay. UCA, we have 10, okay, peer universities. We benchmark with them. We select universities, student number, 10,000 to 12,000, public school, middle-sized city to compare with us. Then, okay, student success ratios, faculty-student ratios, different ratios, we benchmark with what? With these 10 schools. Make sure we are not too low or too high. For the company, how to do benchmark? You find out someone in the same industry. Okay, so if you are in the furniture industry, most people use 30% for advertisement. You use that as a benchmark. You may not use exactly 30%, but you use that as a benchmark. Okay, so benchmark is also a way of whether you want to do the change. And last one, okay, is talking about, okay, summary. Okay, control is very important to the company, of course, okay, because you have to make sure you achieve your goal. Effective control has to be flexible, accurate, and timely. We have work, concurrent, and the feedback. Control started from planning process. Before it's happened, you have to have some control, okay? And the concurrent, and after that, you have to have a feedback. Outcome control, we use ratios, we set up the goal, and we control the budget. And the behavior control, okay, we have to be careful, it's centralized or decentralized structure. Supervising and the standard operation procedure are the major ones for behavior control. Value norms can also be important called plan control. Okay, organization change. If it's very, very dramatic, we use what? Top down. If it's evolutionized, very slow, we use bottom up. Benchmark is also an important thing. Okay, so I summarized the chapter, and I spent a little bit time today talking to you. We have new assignments. Please take a look. Try to get started. Group project. The first guideline about presentation and rubric. I just posted. I may do some minor revision, but please take a look. about that. Written report, the rubric and the guidelines, I will try to get it done and post it in a couple of days. So this week, please, please, please work on your project. This next week, because week after next, Monday exam, Wednesday we start the presentation process. Okay, any other question? No question. Be safe. Work on your project. Friday, we're going to start the leadership chapter. Okay. See you, Nicholas.